Good morning. It's 7:04 on this Wednesday. It's August 25th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday, and we welcome you to our program. Bob McDonald is here this morning to talk about Cedarstone Bank. Bob McDonald, President, Chief Executive Officer, Cedarstone Bank of Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson. Simple banking, simply better. Bob, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing terrific. Great
How
to be
is
with you.
Susan doing?
She's doing great. Funny you bring that up. What a great segue for what I want to talk to you about.
Well, you do. Okay.
Well, I've told you about how much we've enjoyed your vegetables and the produce of your garden. And I've told you about what we've been doing, and I've made a picture that Susan I want to show you. She made a squash casserole late last week. We've been enjoying it for several nights now. We have it for dinner each night. We finished it last night, and I'm going to show you here on the phone. I'm going to walk over here. But
there it is. Wow.
It is terrific. She found it online. It's a low-fat squash casserole. Doesn't have any cheese in it or anything like that, so it's really great.
Well, that's a very colorful
she's
dish,
probably listening in right now, so she's hearing us talk about how much we enjoyed your squash. And I told you before we came on the air, I've just finished up. Well, I'll finish up your tomatoes today. I think you said there's some more in the building.
Yeah, somebody left them here yesterday, so their loss is your gain.
Well, when I leave today, there's going to be a few less in that bag in there. Okay. But, you know, we've got, it's funny, last week after I left your show, I had a phone call from a good friend and a good customer, and I won't give his name. He might not want me giving his name out, but he said, "Hey, I've been hearing you and Coleman talk about how much you like squash and okra." And I said, "Yeah, I love squash and okra." He said, "Well, I've got some from my garden. I'll bring it by." So you see, you're helping feed Susan and Bob. Word's getting out.
So he did.
Yeah, so he did. So now that we've finished up your squash and your okra, we're now going to dive into his squash and okra. So I thank my good friend for that. So we've had a good summer, thanks to you.
Plenty more okra.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Squash is probably gone.
Okay. Well, good. Well, if you're trying to get rid of some okra, you know where to bring it.
And there should be some more tomatoes.
Okay.
Until frost, I hope.
Okay. Well, good. Well, we've enjoyed it all. Thank you. I don't mean to take advantage of your kindness, but we sure have enjoyed your sharing it with us, and we thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for mentioning it. Thank you for being thankful. How's that? Let's talk about banking.
Yeah. Well, not sure what you want to talk about. Susan asked me this morning.
You're paying for the time. It's what you want to talk about.
Well, no, it's two-way street. We've been together a long time, so you can bring up anything you want to bring up, and my time's always your time. So if there's anything you want to talk about, you can bring it up.
I don't know. I'm a little bit with all the money the government's printing. I can't help but think, and we're already seeing some inflation. I just wonder how rampant inflation is going to become.
Great question. And no one seems to know. You know, the Federal Reserve has been talking about that a lot in recent months, as you know, and there are signs of inflation. The Fed seems to believe that it's what's called transitory inflation, meaning that we're simply transitioning from one element of the economy into another, and the inflation we're seeing now is not permanent. It's more short-term inflation because of some supply chain restrictions. And so they seem to think that once some of those things become more stabilized, then we'll see inflation drop and get back into a more normalized pattern. That's yet to be seen. Not everyone tends to agree with that. Folks who we work with, our customers, some see it that way, some do not. Some think that the inflation is here to stay until the Fed does something else, such as easing what's been their easy monetary policy, you know, buying bonds and treasuries and those types of things. So I think we'll see. Of course, you know, and I hear it from our customers. I mean, you go in the grocery store and prices of goods are really high, whether it's produce or whether it's anything. But again, some of that they believe is because of the transitory elements that we just talked about, the short supply of, or should say, the unemployment and the employment conditions, and so I think we'll see where we are. The Fed continues to monitor that, but I think inflation is a concern of a lot of people.
Well, you have money to lend. You can get your loan at Cedarstone. We try to mention that each week.
Yes,
and
sir.
you are lending.
We are. We're very busy. I was on the phone with another banker in another state yesterday, and he was commenting about how they're seeing loan demand slow down. But he asked me if we're seeing the same thing, and I said, no, we're not. And this was from another southeastern state. And we're seeing loan demand stay very strong, Coleman. We're seeing businesses continue to invest in their operations. We're seeing people invest in their homes by doing home renovations. We're seeing businesses buy equipment. And so we're starting, I mean, we see a continued high loan demand, and that's good. Rates are still low, which is one reason for that.
Well, we can't let you go without mentioning the free checking that's available, and not just free checking, a super free checking account at Cedarstone.
Ed, we still have that, Coleman, and we will continue to do so. And it's a great account for your listeners who aren't familiar with us or with that account. It's free in every sense of the word. It's free checks. It's free online banking with bill pay. You get a free ATM or debit card. If you use your ATM card at any other ATM, we reimburse you those third-party fees. So it's a great account, and it's for everyone, whether you're new to banking and you're just getting started, or if you've been around for a while like you and me, it's good for us too.
All right, good to have you. Hope you have a great rest of the week, and we'll do it again next Wednesday.
Thanks, Coleman. Take care.
Bob McDonald, President, CEO, Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson. Simple banking, simply better. 10:30 after the hour. We're going to be talking about Sherry's Hope today, and I have two ladies here who are joining me now to talk about that. Corey Cluck, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You are the Director of Operations for Sherry's Hope, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we have Alicia Eakes today. Good morning to you. Patient Assistant Director. Well, welcome again. We appreciate both of you being here this morning, and
Thanks for having us.
Corey, I guess get us started. Sherry's Run, now Sherry's Hope, has been around for a long time, and we've heard the story of how it got started so many times, but of course it had to do with the fact that Sherry, help me out here.
Whitaker?
Yes, Gary Whitaker's wife, Sherry, had colon cancer. And this was done kind of to honor her and remember her, and it's turned into a tremendous fundraiser.
Absolutely.
And now we're calling it Sherry's Hope. Tell us a little about that.
So, right, exactly. So it started out as a 5K to honor Sherry when she passed away in 2004, and then grew into an organization rather than an event. And so for years, Sherry's Run has been operating as both a 5K event and also as an organization. And so at the beginning of this year, after several years of discussion, we decided to make that name change for the organization to Sherry's Hope. But Sherry's Run 5K, Run Walk will still be our major fundraiser, which is coming up on September 11th. So it's
okay. So the organization is Sherry's Hope. The
Yes, sir.
event is Sherry's Run.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got it.
Yeah. I know. It's
refresh my memory. What did we do last year? I can't remember.
We had the 5K run as a virtual event, so you could register. All the T-shirts were either available to pick up or mail. You could walk or run in your neighborhood, at the park, whatever. But everything was virtual last year.
Right. But not this year?
This year we're going to be back in person, but we still have the virtual option for anyone who wants to do that for whatever reason. If they live in another state and can't come to Lebanon, Tennessee, or if they just still would prefer to be in their neighborhood or park, or we were virtual before virtual was a thing. We just called it Sleep In for Sherry's Run. So you can still sleep in if you want to. You're not required to run or walk.
Yeah. Well, Alicia, how'd you get involved in this? And tell us quickly what you do. But how did it just sort of happen, or how'd you come to be? How'd this come to be?
It did just sort of happen. I was working full time, and I decided I'd like to have a part-time position. And everyone at Sherry's Run or Sherry's Hope is part-time. Other than this time of year, we get a few hours in extra, but I was looking for something part-time, and they had an opening, and I jumped over there, and here I am.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
All right, we need to take a break here in about a minute. Tell us when this. It's always
Always the second Saturday in September. So
Yeah.
this year it falls on September the 11th.
and that happens to be 9/11,
It happens to be, yes, sir.
which we all remember back in 2001. Hopefully, we do. But anyway, some don't remember because they weren't born then. But 20 years.
It's crazy.
But
to think about.
when did Sherry's run?
2004 was the first 5K
Four.
event.
Okay. All right. So you are what? 17.
This
years.
is the 18th annual
All right.
5K.
Okay. All right. We got it. Well, with that, we'll take our break. More with Corey and Alicia coming up in a moment here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And at 7:14, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford. Low price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Latest accidents going to be 24 eastbound near Whites Creek Pike or past Whites Creek Pike there in the Jolton area. It's already struggling out here this morning just outside of Clarksville. It has been for a while on a terrible wreck that happened earlier on 24 east again there in Montgomery County just outside of Clarksville. As traffic volume increases through Mount Juliet, right on schedule, I-40, all that traffic leaving Wilson County headed towards Nashville. Ripley's Aquarium, Sleep with the Sharks Family Editions coming up September 18th and 19th. Log on to Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The Pavilion Senior Living residents are inviting you to become their new neighbor. If you're looking for a sign to move, call us at 444-5556 to learn more about the details. Or go to thepavilionseniorliving.com for more information. Or better yet, just drop by 1408 Medical Center Drive right behind Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital and see for yourself. You should move here.
Hey, Lebanon School is back in session, which means band practice, ball games, and homework. Come visit the newly remodeled restaurant at the Lebanon Country Club. Open to the public Tuesday through Sunday. Happy hour is Tuesday through Friday, 3 until 6 p.m. Follow The Edge Lebanon on Facebook and Instagram to see weekly specials and live music lineups. Check theedgelebanon.com to see their menu and their beautiful event space. The Edge is also hiring cooks and servers. Apply in person.
For 44 years, A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction has been the leader in residential real estate and auctions in Middle Tennessee. Did you know that we also have a team of agents that specialize in commercial real estate? No matter if it is a high-traffic spot or a quiet little corner, we have the local knowledge to deliver just what you are looking for. The A.G. & Johnson commercial team will know exactly what you need and will walk you through the development process. Our commercial agents know more. For commercial real estate done right, give us a call, 615-444-0909, or visit us online, agandjohnson.com.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. It's Sherry's Hope this morning. We have Corey Clark here, Director of Operations. We have Alicia Eakes, who's the Patient Assistant Director. And Sherry's Hope, as the organization said, we still have Sherry's Run coming up on September 11th, which will be it's the second Saturday in September. This year, it is September 11th. And you've just sort of, I guess, you chose that date, and that's been it all along?
It has been. That date was chosen because that is always the date that falls closest to Sherry's birthday, which was September the 12th.
Okay.
So
All right.
every year. In fact, last year it was on September 12th.
Okay, a lot of planning and organization goes into this, and I think you have a number of people in the community who join in different roles or played, of course, but who is actually in charge of this run that we're going to be talking about, this event we're talking about? Do you have somebody that's delegated to?
Well, there's a lot. There's quite a few who have different roles and responsibilities and lists of tasks. Scott Jasper is our race director, but we have a whole run committee that each committee chair has a different area. A lot of stuff is done in the office with myself and Elisa and Katie Henson, who's our marketing director. So it's an army of folks.
Alicia, you you have to do with directly helping people, I think. So talk a little bit about that. We talk about raising money and what the money goes for. In my opinion, is always a very important thing. And you have people who are victims of cancer that need monetary assistance, and that's kind of the role you play here. Is that right?
Yes, sir. They would fill out an application, and we would get something from their oncology office confirming that they're being treated for a current cancer diagnosis. And then we just get together and talk about how cancer has affected their financial situation. If they've lost employment, we step in and try to help with utilities or maybe some mortgage or their rent, groceries, gas money to go back and forth for visits. If they haven't lost employment, a lot of times we step in and help with prescriptions or medical copays, things directly related to their cancer diagnosis they didn't plan for.
Now, this has been going on, I guess, pretty much from the beginning. The money that's been raised has gone for this purpose. Is that right?
Around 2008 is when the patient assistance here locally started. Before that, the money was given to American Cancer Society, Sarah Cannon, for research, but then it shifted to stay here in the community around 2008. Range.
Well, either way, it's I think these organizations like the American Cancer Society, I mean, they need their contributions, of course, but here and more recently, you're really helping people right here in the community, so it's kind of staying here. But either way is okay with me. But I'll bet you there's a lot of people who have benefited, that you've really helped, and maybe helped them get through at least the financial part of having cancer. You've helped a lot, right?
Yes, sir. Last month in July, we assisted 47 different families. Just last
well,
month.
Since we're talking about that, not that we want the world to be the path to your door, because you have limited funds, of course, but you say there's an application. Can you get that online, or do they come see you? Or
Yes, sir. They can go to sherryshope.org, and it'll guide you through the steps to download one. But if you're unable to print one, just give me a call, and we'll drop you one in the mail, or you can stop by the office and pick one up.
All right. Now, you, of course, as we've established and mentioned several times here, this is a fundraiser, and the more money you raise, the more people you can help. But there are several different ways one can participate in this. I mean, if you just want to make a donation, that is fine.
Absolutely.
But if you want to run virtually or otherwise,
Right.
so go over some of that, if you will, Corey.
So you can register to run or walk. We have probably the majority of our participants walk rather than run, and that's $30 if you register prior to the event day. If you want to be a chip timed runner, which some do, they want to get that time and chip, compete in their age bracket to try to win that age bracket. You can register for that. That's $40, and then we have our sleep-in / virtual option, and when you register that way, it's $35, and we'll mail your shirt to you after the event takes place. But beyond registering, which is very important, I mean, we need folks to register, but also donations are vitally important, and we appreciate donations. We also have green bows if people want to make a donation for a green bow and help paint the town green, which maybe you've seen some of those around town.
There's one on the door out here. I
Yes.
noticed this morning.
Yes. And so lots of different ways. We have a new website, as Elisa mentioned, sherryshope.org, which is for the organization. And we have different ways that you can be a donor on that website. You can be a monthly donor or a one-time donor if you want to do that online.
Now, do you still have people who get a team together?
We do. We have, I think I counted 65 teams so far this year. And
All right, what constitutes a team?
anybody who just says,
Well,
I'm
two or
registering
more?
as a team, you can be one. You can be a mighty team of one.
A team. Okay.
You can be a mighty team of one. We don't put any restrictions, but so far we've got 65, and those probably will ramp up a little bit. This time of year, it seems like after the fair, everything sort of, people go, okay, now that's we've had the fair, now we're going to register for Sherry's Run, and but you don't have to be a part of a team to participate. You can participate just as an individual and come and do your walk or your run or.
Well,
sleep in.
you both have a top on that says Sherry's Hope.
Yes, sir.
And how has that gone over? People understand, and I understand. I think what you've done here, and really I like that because that it sort of describes some hope, maybe at least monetarily, that you are giving to people, and then you still have the run, but Sherry's Hope. How people responded to that? Favorably, or has been any comments really?
Yeah, I think once you explain it to them, it really makes sense and they understand, because we had such a time of getting people to understand we are an organization that's here all year long that assists families when they're going through cancer, when our name was Sherry's Run, because it just seemed like we were an event, and that's
Right,
really all
right.
that, it was harder to understand that we were here all the time other than that one time a year. And so people get it once we explain
Whose
it.
idea was that?
Oh, goodness.
Well, don't worry about that.
It's been probably 6 or 7 year process. Things move slowly at our organization, so it didn't happen quick. So I can't remember back who initially started that idea.
All right, you are part-time employees.
Yes, sir.
Both of you. Do you have other? Are you the two, or do you have some others?
We have one other, Katie Henson, who is our marketing director.
All right.
We're all part time.
And but you have a lot of volunteers, I guess.
Oh, so many volunteers.
Especially for the run.
There's probably 500 or 600 volunteers just for the run, and then there's other volunteers that do our Mardi Gras at the Capitol event and help with other things throughout the year in the office or different types
Well,
of
it's
things.
sort of like
Wonderful
they say
volunteers.
about the fair. If it wasn't for the volunteers, it wouldn't happen,
Would
and
not
probably
happen.
your run wouldn't happen if you didn't have
You are
volunteers.
100% correct on that. We are thankful for our volunteers.
But it's been such a success for these years, and you've raised a lot of money, and I know you're hoping to last year, because of the situation, you did well, but not as well as you had maybe in some previous years. You're hoping to rise above that this year, right?
Yeah, we've never set a goal for anything, and that was started from the very beginning. The board and who started everything at the beginning said, we're not going to set goals. God's going to take care of this. He's got a plan for it, and He's going to bless it how He wants to, and that's how we roll today.
My memory is correct. Gary's been here several times, and pretty much said exactly what you said here. They don't set goals. They just you hope for all you can get and
Right.
put it to good use.
That's
And again, Alicia, that's part of what you do, and I guess you. This is your part-time job, but there's got to be some satisfaction in being able to help people in these.
Oh, it's a very rewarding place to be. I mean, it's really nice to be able to offer people some hope and make their day, bring a little joy. But and we have a lot of people that go on to pay it forward and overcome their cancer diagnosis, and then they come back and want to volunteer and pass it on. So,
Well, the organization is Sherry's Hope. The event is Sherry's Run, coming up this year on September 11th, which is always the second Saturday in September.
Yes, sir.
For the run, and it can be you can actually come and participate, even have a chip if you're one of those that run a lot,
That's
5K and all that.
Right.
But you can do a virtual thing.
Yes.
But your even if you all you want to do is make a donation, that's
do that,
wonderful too.
Yes, sir. You can do that online, in person, mail a check, all of it.
We haven't really talked much about the run here, but I mean the real run still is the same, pretty much the same route, I
It
think.
is.
And Scott will be here later to talk probably about that. But
Right.
For those of you who have run or walked, that's the same route. And usually the people in the neighborhood are warned ahead of time so that they know this. On that Saturday, you don't.
Yes.
For a few hours, you're maybe slightly inconvenienced, but
Right.
it's going for.
Hopefully
for
they'll
good.
all participate and it won't hurt them, but some of them have to work and our logistics team is really good about, helping, navigate all that with the
All right.
folks in the area.
What's the best way if you want to go online, maybe to make a donation or even find out what's the way that there is?
If you want to register, we still have sherrysrun.org, and you go there and click that register button. You can also click the donate button from there, and that will take you to our donation site on sherryshope.org.
So you could really probably go from one to the other if
They're
you go
connected.
sherryshope.org or sherrysrun.org.
Yes, if you go to sherryshope.org, you can see the 5K registration button, or you can see donate button. Of course, you can get to patient assistance from either as well, if the need help button gets you where you need for that.
Alicia, would you like the last word this morning? We've got about 30 seconds.
Well, we just hope the community will come out and support us. And because we live such a great community, I've never had to refuse to assist someone or turn anybody down that met our guidelines.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Okay, sometimes it might get a little thin, but
Well, God has blessed us and the community supports us. And
Great
it's just not
sponsors.
been a worry or concern of having the funds there to help those in need around here.
well, that's great. Well, our time's about up here, but thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Coleman.
Sherry's Run on September 11th. Sherry's Hope's the organization, and we've had Corey Clark, Director of Operations, and Alicia Eakes, who's the Patient Assistance Director. Thank you all very much. And that is part one of Coleman and Company. Hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And to 729, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota. They have Red Max, complete inventory, weed eaters, blowers, hedge trimmers for the commercial user and homeowner with up to a 4-year warranty. 1506 West Main. Now in traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still a bit sluggish here on 65 southbound at Trinity Lane as we check it out live. It's also still running slow. Trying to get out of Clarksville this morning on 24 eastbound, just outside of Clarksville there and through Montgomery County from a bad wreck. It happened earlier this morning as traffic increases now down I-40 through Wilson County, leaving Wilson County, shall I say, headed into Davidson County, 2800 block, 11 and Pike. 2 cars hit really hard there. Injuries involved in that crash, 3600 block of Murfreesboro Pike. Oktoberfest at Obergattelberg, September 24th through October 31st. Log on to obergattelberg.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Bob McDonald with Cedar Stone Bank. For 17 years now, we've been serving our communities in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Donaldson. We can serve you in the way that best fits your needs. We have all the banking technology, we have beautiful buildings, but more importantly, we have great people. On behalf of our board of directors, I thank you for banking with us. If you don't currently bank with us, please come by and visit us in any of our locations. It would be our pleasure to talk with you about how simple banking is simply better.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Philip Etherly with Absolute Rental and Supply. Whether it's cleaning, painting, remodeling, or simply getting better organized, we have the tools and equipment to get the job done. Scaffolding, paint sprayers, ladders, power saws, portable heaters, temporary lighting, generators, hardwood floor staplers, from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers, Absolute Rental has what you need. Call 615-443-RENT. Absolute Rental and Supply. We have what you need.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
It's going to be very hot out there today with highs soaring into the mid-90s, so please make sure to stay cool and hydrated. On Thursday, a few isolated showers are in the forecast, which will hold those temperatures down into the low 90s. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
And we welcome you to part 2 of Coleman and Company here on Wednesday morning. Phil Beverly joins us to talk about Absolute Rental and Supply. He's just our Wednesday regular, and good to see you again. Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to tell everybody, of course, AbsoluteRental.com. You go there, see something you want, you call 615-443-RENT and make your reservation. And Philip's been doing this for 20 years now.
That's right.
Located at 1325 West Main here in Lebanon. All right.
You don't even need me here, Coleman. You can do it all.
I can sit here and talk all day. It's not like having
Yeah.
you here to tell us your latest experience or who didn't show up for work or.
Oh, there's a lot of that goes on. But anyway.
No, but honestly, I think you do have a good team of people.
We do. Right now, we currently have a really good team. Everybody, works well together and all. It's labor is definitely a challenge right now for all businesses, and so I'm very blessed that we have a really good crew.
Well, you were telling me, and this has nothing directly to do with your business here, but I can't believe you live in the depths of Cairo Bend.
Yep,
right?
living in the
Cairo.
Cairo. Exactly. Yep.
And you haven't had any rain.
We haven't had any rain. We were just talking about the fair, talking about how it rained every day on it, but we like I said, we've not had any rain at the farm.
So you're dry.
Yeah, so we're very, very dry.
You got a garden?
No, I do not. I don't have time for that. There's no way I do that. But no. But anyway, it just goes. I mean, it's scattered showers. That's the definition of it. And
well, it wasn't scattered showers in Waverly, man. That's
that's unbelievable.
Keep seeing the pictures on TV of that, and it's so devastating, so heartbreaking. People that lost their lives. We're blessed not to have had to suffer that. But
I cannot imagine. They're saying that water rose 3 to 5 feet in minutes.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine being involved in that, and our prayers go out to all those families and people down there.
Lebanon being down in the bowl that it is, at 14 inches of rain came at 4 Mile Hill.
Oh,
yeah. Well, let's talk about how wonderful it is to have a place that you can rent everything from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers.
That's right. Yeah. I've talked many times. This is a good time of year for us because the weather is pretty well. I say standard or even. There's not highs and lows with it. And the same way with the people's projects. There's not a big rush right now to get out there and get your lawn aerated and so forth. And so anyway, it's a good time of year for us. But we do recommend people to always call to see if the equipment's available. We do ask a lot of questions. We want to make sure that our equipment's being used for the right application and also that you're getting the right piece of equipment to make your job go as smoothly as possible. So, like I say, some people get aggravated at all the questions, but believe me, it's for a reason. And a good reason it is. And, like I said,
good reason.
We really want to alleviate a problem before it starts.
Right.
We'll have people, a big thing with our deal is people will call and we'll get all through way talking about the project, talking about what they're doing, talking about this, and right piece of equipment. I'll get it already set up, and all of a sudden they're in Cookville. And you're like, well, that's really out of our service range. And they don't understand. I said, well, I don't understand. I says, if you get all the way to Cookville and you have a pull rope break on that chainsaw, we can't drive to Cookville and back to fix a pull rope in efficient time. We can't get up there quick enough for you. And by the time we drive up there and come back, we just lost money on a $50 rental. And so, it's one of those things you have to ask so many questions about. And there again, it goes back to the question. We want it to be a good experience. And if we can head that off before a bad experience happens, I'd just soon lose the rental than have a bad experience. And so that's one of the things we really kind of hammer on. There's things like in the middle of summer, there may be people wanting to rent a sod cutter or an aerator. Well, the ground is too hard for that equipment to work efficiently. All you're going to do is tear up the equipment, and you're not going to get your deal. And then the customer's going to come back and say, well, the equipment broke on me, and it didn't do right, or it didn't. The aerator plugs didn't go deep enough. They just went a half-inch deep, and you're like, the ground's hard as a rock, so it can't do it. So, I'm really quick to tell people if I see them come in and want to rent an aerator in the middle of summer, I'm like, it's really not a good time. And now, if you have your yard irrigated or, something like that, then yes, maybe it'll work. But I'll pass on rentals before I know it's going to be a bad situation.
You are such a practical guy.
Well, it's common sense to me. So anyway, a lot of people just kind of get tunnel vision. But, there again, we want it to be a good experience for the customer and for us.
Well, you've had a lot of good experiences, and you've had a lot of happy customers for the 20 years, right?
We have. We've been very blessed with a lot of good customers and faithful and loyal customers. And I really appreciate our customers. And like
contractors, homeowners, renters, the whole nine.
It really is. It's a good variety. And I've always said that, if it's too wet outside, there's always something there. Somebody's doing a remodeling project and they need saws or they need this or that. So So it's a good, well-rounded business.
All right. One other thing quickly here. You are able, you have somebody who can deliver and pick up, and that's good too.
Yeah, it's a very big part of our business, the delivery and pickup. It's a convenience factor for the homeowner who may not have the right size vehicle to be able to tow it or the experience to be able to tow it. And then also for the contractors, it's very easy just to say, hey, have it there at 8 o'clock. We'll call you when you're done, and then y'all come pick it up. So that works out really good.
Sound like a great deal to me.
It does to me too.
And we have what you need.
We have what you need.
Philip, thank you so much. See you next Wednesday.
All right, thank you.
Philip Etherly, Absolute Rental and Supply, 1325 West Main in Lebanon. Remember that phone number, 615-443-RENT. We're about 21 before the hour, and my guest is here for part 2. And I want to welcome Jeff Brockett with Middle Tennessee Electric. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And it's good to see you again. I think we did this about this time last year.
Yes, sir.
If people keep up with things a little bit, they probably already guessed we're going to be talking about your Middle Tennessee Electric annual meeting, which is coming up fairly soon.
Yes, sir. It's virtual and it's Saturday.
All
Yes,
right. We've got a lot to talk about that. And of course, to get started here, you are the member program manager. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been in Middle Tennessee Electric?
33 years as of August 1.
Well, you just might make a career of it.
Yeah, I might hang around a while.
Are you originally from Lebanon?
Yes, sir. Been here since I was 2 years old.
You still live here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
Well, we're going to get to the subject at hand for a moment, but since you said 33 years, I want to know a little more about you. How'd you get started, and what you're a Lebanon High graduate?
Actually, at Castle Heights Military Academy, if you remember that school closed in the 80s. I was lucky enough when I was in college. One summer, I got to work part-time for the co-op. And in vegetation management, that's a fancy word now, but we sprayed right away. We maintained right away. Our crew did. And I knew then that I really liked that business model of a cooperative, and I really wanted to work there. I figured then that's where I wanted to work if I could manage it somehow. Just at that time, wasn't a whole lot of jobs, but I lucked out. After I got out of college, I took another position somewhere else, but lucked out and got to get on at Middle Tennessee Electric in 1988.
And been there ever since.
Been there ever since.
You hadn't been doing this all the time, have you?
No, sir. I started out staking lines, actually, line design, things like that, and I've done that, and residential energy advising. I've been an inspector and worked in engineering for several years as well, but I've been in member services since 2004.
Well, it's really a fine organization, one of the largest cooperatives in the country, if my memory's right. I don't think that's changed.
No, sir, you're correct. We're one of the top 5.
How many members do you have?
We serve about 315,000 meters, and then a member can have more than one meter. Mm-hmm. But I'd have to say probably around 280,000 members if I had to guess.
And you used to have a slogan, maybe you still do, owned by the members we serve. I believe it's the way it went.
Yes, sir, that's exactly right.
It is a cooperative, and you actually, most of the time, if you subscribe to the electric power from Middle Tennessee Electric, you are a member of the cooperative.
And an owner. And we're owned by those we serve. That's what we tell people.
All right. What's the annual meeting is going to be virtual. So tell us a little bit about how this is going to work.
Well, we're going to be broadcasting live Saturday from the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce beginning at 2 p.m. And people can tune in on our website at mte.com/annual meeting. All the information's there. You can tune in at 2 o'clock there and see everything.
So that's pretty simple. MTE/annual meeting.
MTE.com/.
Right.
Yeah.
MTE. And by the way, it's not MTEMC anymore. You've dropped the last 2 letters for brevity's sake, I guess.
Yeah, brevity to simplify things. Look, we're still membership corporation, obviously, but we had a brand launch. We rebranded this year and had a brand launch, and that was part of it, just to simplify things.
Okay, MTE.com/annual meeting.
Yes, sir.
All right, and then now you you're supposed to be a member to participate in the meeting and vote and this sort of thing.
Yes, sir.
Well, how do you keep other people from doing that if they wanted to?
Well, so they have to. So anybody can watch the annual meeting.
Oh, okay.
But the voting is today. We have early voting all week this week from 7:30 till 5 each day at any office, and then from 7:30 till 10 on Saturday morning. So as you come in and you want to vote, cast your vote for a board member, or we also have a election for our nominating committee. We will register you. They'll check your information then and verify that you're actually a member and you have the right to cast your vote. And then it's just like walking into a regular election.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. We know how to do elections in Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
I think can do them right. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a break. Jeff Brockett is with us. We were talking about the MTE annual meeting, and we've got a lot more to talk about after this break here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:44. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Bates Ford. Lifetime brake pad guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns a vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still quite a bit of traffic volume here on Vietnam. That's right now coming westbound, passing Conference Drive, getting on to the 6524 westbound ramp. There at 440 we saw what appeared to be a minor accident. 2800 Lebanon Pike still getting some attention. Injuries was involved in that earlier crash near the library in the 3600 block of Murfreesboro Pike. Princess Hot Chicken is now hiring at both locations. Apply and order online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tommy Bryan. Join me, Bob Lee, Terry Stafford, and Joe Gardner as we bring you Lebanon High football live every Friday night right here throughout this 2021 season on WANT and WCOR. The Blue Devils travel to Gladeville Friday the 27th. They play at Wilson Central. Don't forget Blue Devil football on WANT WCOR Lebanon.
A loaded offense.
Tannehill with the finger roll. Arthur, Juan, Brown carrying them.
A 2,000-yard king.
Derrick Henry to Peter.
And now, Julio Jones.
Touchdown, Titans.
In the first ever 17-game regular season schedule. Catch every single game here.
Brought to you by Bates Ford, Fakes and Hooker, the Jewelers, and Steve Mall Plumbing.
The winning teams are on WANT 98.9.
Hey, TP.
Yeah, JB?
You ready?
For Friday Night Lights, you better believe it. Join us on the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show every Friday night after the Lebanon High football game. We'll have all the scores for you and even post-game interviews with all of your Wilson County coaches.
Thank you to our sponsors, Designers Carpet, Fakes and Hooker, Lebanon Appliance, Palometto's Insurance, Minchie's Landscape and Design, Sammy B's Restaurant, and Kenny Salas and the hometown team with Keller Williams Realty.
It's the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show with John Boyce and Trenton Perry right here on WANT 98.9 FM.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Our final segment here for a Wednesday morning. And if you just tuned our way, thank you very much. Jeff Brockett is here. Jeff is the member program manager for Middle Tennessee Electric. And we're talking about their annual meeting. And we haven't really got to the business part of this. But again, this meeting is going to be virtual. You don't go to Murfreesboro and win a car or something like you have done in the past. This probably safety is in mind here, and with the COVID strain that we've been dealing with, maybe a lot of wisdom in the decision to do it like you're doing.
Yeah, we have to start planning so far in advance. We were actually still under some COVID restrictions when we began our planning, and it's hard to find a facility that can house 2,000 people on short notice. So we made the decision a pretty good while back to go ahead and go virtual this year. We hope to get back in person next year. We'll be planning on it shortly after this meeting.
All right. Well, Jeff, if you will, go through the process again, and then let's talk about what people are going to be determining, because all of this has to do with the future, who's on the board, maybe, and other things that pertain to business at the co-op.
Yes, sir. So our board's made up of members, and they run for that office just like a lot of local politicians would. And we have a contested election this year in Rutherford County. that one of the seats over there, and we also have a contested election in Williamson County for one of the nominating committee seats. But we offer early voting all week long. You can go to any of our offices between 7:30 and 5 and cast your vote if you're a member. And then also Saturday morning from 7:30 until 10 a.m. We'll be doing the same thing.
You can go to the local office.
Yes, sir. Okay. We'll be there for Saturday morning and be able to cast your vote then too. People can ask questions. They can submit questions through the website as well. And there'll also be a live question and answer period during the annual meeting where we'll take a couple of questions and try to get those out there. Something that's, trending especially, we'll try to get that out in front of the people.
All right, but the meeting itself, you said, begins at 2 o'clock virtually on Saturday afternoon.
Yes, sir.
And again, you access that mte.com/annual meeting.
Yes, sir.
I got it. So maybe everybody else can remember that one too. But you have some publications on this. I know that magazine that comes to my house. I grabbed the annual meeting notice to bring out here to remind me of a thing or two. Of course, again, it's this Saturday, August the 28th. And what are there other things other than you mentioned? There's 2 contested board positions, one in Williamson County and one in Rutherford County. Is that right?
Yes, sir. The board position is in Rutherford. The nominating the nominating committee is in Williamson.
Okay. You got so really there's 2 things you're voting on. You're voting for board members, but there's the others, like for Wilson County, whoever's up. There's no one seeking that but the incumbent. I think.
That's correct. It's Mr. Mills, Jim Mills, is our board member from here. He is on the ballot this year, but there's no competition for him this year.
I'll bet he loves that.
I hope he does.
But the other position that's contested in Williamson County. Now, what do whoever wins that? What will they be doing with the others?
So it's for a nominating committee, and they nominate people for our board, and so that's made up of our members as well. It's just 2 separate people. We don't the board won't nominate people for the board, so they're set up a different set of folks for that. So we have a nominating committee from each county that we serve.
All right. Now, is the other business to be considered, or what else will your virtual meeting entail?
Well, we'll share financial statistics and annual report statistics and things like that. And we'll talk about a little bit about broadband, and we'll probably talk about we had ice storm, earlier this year. Some of that restoration work that we went through. We rebranded this year, new brand launch, things like that. They'll mention some of that stuff too, but. There are no bylaw changes this year, so nothing going on with our bylaws, so that's good. So the ballot looks a little cleaner this year because there's not more stuff to read, so it's a pretty quick process. And one more thing that I'd like to say, if you vote, when we register you vote, they're automatically entered for door prizes. We will give away door prizes, not a vehicle, but we will give away door prizes, and in doing that, we are highlighting locally owned businesses again this year. We're trying to go catch some of the smaller businesses that are locally owned. So the majority of the gift cards will be through those.
And that's their little incentive to vote there. You might win a door prize.
Yes, sir. And actually, if you can call us at our member service line and ask to be registered. If you don't want to vote or can't come in to vote, and we'll register you anyway. But if you do come in and vote, you're automatically registered for those door prizes.
Okay. All right. What's the future look like? I mean, we've enjoyed the benefits of, I think, fairly low cost electricity all the years. You buy electricity from TVA and distribute it, of course, through how many ever counties? Rutherford, Wilson, Williamson, Cannon, and after that, I'm not sure.
Well, in parts of 11 counties, so total, but. I think so. Our senior leadership, our whole staff, they work pretty hard to try to keep those rates as low as possible. That's what a co-op does, and we partner with TVA in that. TVA is public power. We're public power, and we want the rates to be low here, as low as we possibly can, and we do a lot of things to try to keep that we're pretty lean. We're healthy, but we're pretty lean as far as employee to member ratio. I think technology helps us with that a little bit, so we invest in technology. I know the broadband, the fiber broadband, it's a hot topic for everyone right now, and it's going to make its way into Wilson County. I think you'll see us trying to serve the underserved with broadband, so that students and people that have businesses can have, some of the same internet services and things like that as people in town.
How long do you think it will be before that will be available?
I really don't know, but I think a few years here. When we purchased part of United Communications, they're down in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. That's where they're at, and so they've got to kind of make their way up here. But they're doing that, and they're making headway into Wilson County a little bit now, and so I think I think a few years, but I do know that we're going to try to be aggressive to the point of trying to get to the people that aren't served now.
How does their rates? How expensive is that compared to what other people who already have that service?
Well,
pay a little bit more, maybe.
No, I think it's going to be the same, or hopefully a little less. What they like to tell you, and United Communications is a local company. It's a small company in Chapel Hill, Tennessee, and so they're fast and local, and I think their pricing will be very competitive, if not a little less than some of the other major companies.
Would other people who have something else now want to jump on that? Perhaps would that even be possible?
Yeah, yeah, they will. I think. I'm not sure. I can't speak too much for United and what their plans are. I know at a high level kind of what they're trying to do. So I think at some point that will happen. Yes, sir. But off the bat, I think they're hoping to get to where areas that don't really have good broadband service right now, so that those people can have it.
Well, that's something at least for them to look forward to, an opportunity coming up here, but may be a little while before it's available to everybody.
Yes, sir.
What else concerns the hierarchy? Let's say at Middle Tennessee Electric, you're always concerned with the rates of what you have to pay TVA. You've got to charge enough to keep everybody like you happy and working and all that sort of stuff. But it's been a wonderful thing for Middle Tennessee since 1936 or 7. I think that's about when it started.
Yeah, 1936. And make no mistake, I enjoy being gainfully employed, so I'm privileged to have my job. Yeah, we do. That's part of public power. Being a co-op is working for the members. So our president, Chris Jones, will tell almost every time I've heard him speak, he at some point he interjects a phrase similar to, we are a service company and we're here to serve you. We happen to deliver electrons, but if there's other things that we can do for you, we'll do that. And
well, by the way, I've got to compliment. I mentioned this out at the Wilson County Fair. You had 3 or 4 people out there who put on a demonstration, and I think they did it several times. And I didn't see it at the very beginning, but saw most of it the other day, and I'm not sure who the guy was, but he's almost a clown in a way. It was so entertaining as well as informing, and you need to do more of that.
Was he kind of a big guy?
Yeah.
Greg Hale, I guarantee you, it's Greg Hale. He's one of our working foremen at our Lebanon office, and that's our lineman. That's our safety demonstration trailer. They demonstrate how electricity behaves in storms and outages and things like that. And it's very educational. It's good for students and adults alike.
Well, a lot of good information there if you can remember it all. But I don't remember things as well as I did back when I was in high school. Maybe I think that's part of growing older. One other thing, Jeff, you and I could talk a little bit. We're a very growing area here, and everybody knows that. And so many people seem to be coming here from California, New York, wherever. They got more problems than we got, and but part of coming here would be the electricity that's provided, and you've got new people you're probably adding every day. We
add a few. we like I said before, we're kind of lean when it comes to employee to member ratio. But when we need to add people, we do.
I'm talking about customers.
Oh, yes, sir.
New people moving in here.
Oh, man, we add thousands per year, and a lot of people are relocating to this area, and so.
Well, you serve probably Wilson County, Williamson County, and Rutherford too. Very fast growing areas here in Middle Tennessee.
Yes, sir. They're some of the fastest growing areas in the southeast, and we're doing a good job keeping up with that. And I think they'll find us to be. It depends on where they come from, what part of the country. Yeah. But we're for an electric utility, we're pretty proactive in things we do. You don't really find that at all utilities, if you don't mind me saying that. And so I think hopefully that they'll be pleasantly surprised.
All right, we got 30 seconds to wrap it up here, but the annual meeting going to be virtual this Saturday. That's at 2:00, and you can go anytime, even today. I believe, is that right? To the offices.
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah.
During our regular office hours, you can come in and vote.
And then when you do that, you are automatically registered for door prizes going to be given away.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, Jeff, thanks so much for being with us today. We have had a good discussion here, and it seems like things are going well at Middle Tennessee Electric. We hope to stay that way so that you stay employed.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Coleman. I appreciate
that.
That
is it for Wednesday. Please join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. Till then, I wish you a wonderful day.